In a quiet suburban town, the Thompson family, consisting of parents James and Sarah, along with their young daughter Emily, receives a package that shatters the monotony of their lives. The package contains a letter from a distant relative, detailing the passing of Aunt Amelia and the inheritance of a mysterious antique doll named Isabella. James, a skeptical architect, dismisses the doll as an eccentric heirloom. Sarah, an artist with a penchant for the paranormal, is fascinated by its intricate craftsmanship. Emily, a curious and imaginative child, feels an instant bond with the doll's enchanting presence. With mixed feelings, the family places the doll on the mantel, unaware of the unsettling events that will soon unfold. As days turn into nights, the Thompsons' home undergoes subtle transformations. Footsteps echo in empty hallways, and creaking floorboards signal unseen movements. Sarah's brushes disappear, only to reappear in inexplicable places. James attributes these occurrences to his overworked mind, while Sarah captures them on canvas, convinced that Isabella's story is waiting to be unveiled. Emily, however, notices something else: a soft, eerie whisper that emanates from the doll when the moon graces the night sky. Guided by her boundless curiosity, she confides in her mother, revealing the first hint of a connection between Isabella and a hidden realm. Sarah delves into Aunt Amelia's journal, discovering tales of inexplicable occurrences linked to Isabella's origins. The doll's lifelike eyes seem to follow anyone who gazes upon them, and Aunt Amelia's accounts suggest that the doll might harbor the spirit of a restless soul, seeking release. In mystery haunted by her findings, Sarah shares her discoveries with James. The skepticism that once shielded him begins to waver as he witnesses firsthand the doll's unsettling gaze and the strange phenomena that continue to escalate. In mystery haunted by her findings, Sarah shares her discoveries with James. The skepticism that once shielded him begins to waver as he witnesses firsthand the doll's unsettling gaze and the strange phenomena that continue to escalate. Emily's connection with Isabella deepens, opening a portal to forgotten memories that intertwine the family's fate with that of the doll. The veil between the physical and supernatural worlds thins, as Isabella's spirit yearns to communicate with those who hold her. Sarah's art takes an otherworldly turn, as vivid dreams transform into intricate paintings that weave a tapestry of Isabella's past. She realizes that the doll's story is intertwined with a family tragedy that has remained shrouded. The Thompsons' lives are engulfed by Isabella's enigmatic presence. The boundaries between reality and the supernatural blur. James confronts his skepticism when he witnesses objects moving of their own accord, while Sarah's art becomes a medium through which Isabella's spirit communicates. Tensions rise within the family as they grapple with the growing presence of the doll. Yet, united by their love and a shared determination to unravel Isabella's story, they embark on a quest that will push the limits of their understanding of life and the afterlife. Note, this is a partial chapter outline. If you would like to continue the story, feel free to adapt and expand upon these ideas to create a complete narrative. Nestled in the heart of a quaint village, the Thompson family home radiates warmth and familiarity. Amid the laughter and everyday routines, a letter arrives that will alter the course of their lives. The letter, bearing a wax seal that seems to whisper secrets, reveals the passing of a distant relative, Aunt Amelia. Through the pages of the letter, Aunt Amelia's life story unfolds a life colored by mystery and fascination for the supernatural. She was an ardent collector of artifacts with intriguing histories, amassing a collection that whispered of forgotten tales. Among these treasures was Isabella, the antique doll whose presence was believed to transcend time itself. Amelia's tales, meticulously documented in her letters and journals, spoke of a woman who was unafraid to delve into the unexplained. Her connection to Isabella was more than that of an owner. It was a dance between realms and exploration of the unknown that fascinated and consumed her. Aunt Amelia's fascination with the occult led her to explore her own heritage, tracing her lineage to a time when whispers of spirits and magic were an inseparable part of life. As she dug deeper, her letters spoke of a prophecy that hinted at the intertwining destinies of her family and Isabella within the confines of her ancestral home. Amelia had wrestled with Isabella's enigma. Her letters hinted at a bond that transcended time and space, a connection that had finally been passed on to the Thompson family. As the sun sets on this chapter of the story, the legacy of Aunt Amelia casts its shadow, drawing the Thompsons into a tale that will redefine their perception of reality. The morning sun filtered through the curtains, casting a soft glow on the room. A pristine wooden table stood in the center, adorned with a fragile treasure, the antique doll named Isabella. It was as if time had woven itself into the doll's intricate features, leaving an aura of age and mystery that seemed to defy explanation. Isabella's porcelain complexion was flawless, her face exuding an uncanny lifelike quality. Her eyes, deep pools of cobalt, held a penetrating gaze that felt almost sentient. Framed by lashes as fine as a whisper, those eyes seemed to follow anyone who dared to venture near. It was said that Aunt Amelia often claimed that Isabella held the gaze of a soul yearning for release. A cascade of raven black ringlets cascaded down Isabella's back, each strand holding a lustrous darkness that hinted at secrets waiting to be unraveled. Her attire was a blend of antique elegance and eerie charm, layers of lace and silk that whispered of bygone eras, yet somehow retained an air of unsettling modernity. In Isabella's hand, she cradled a small, worn book, an artifact that appeared to have witnessed the turn of countless pages and the whispers of myriad stories. A silver locket hung from her delicate neck, its contents a mystery, waiting for a curious soul to unlock its secrets. But it was the aura surrounding Isabella that truly set her apart. As evening fell, casting long shadows across the room, it seemed as if the very air shifted in her presence. Shadows danced upon her features, sometimes creating an illusion of movement, an illusion that left those who witnessed it with a shiver that extended deep into their bones. The doll, despite its undeniable beauty, held an uncanny magnetism that drew the eye while sending ripples of unease through the observer's soul. Its eerie qualities were undeniable, a blend of beauty and disquiet that made one question the stories hidden within its gaze. As the Thompson family tried to make sense of their inheritance, the enigma of Isabella's appearance held them captive, a puzzle waiting to be solved, a story waiting to be told, with the weight of Aunt Amelia's legacy resting upon their shoulders. The Thompson family carried Isabella into their home, a subtle sense of expectation hanging in there. Emily's small fingers gently cradled the doll, as if an unspoken connection had already formed. Between the two, Sarah and James exchanged curious glances, a mixture of wonder and trepidation in their eyes. The living room's fireplace mantel, bathed in the soft glow of twilight, became the chosen spot for Isabella's new residence. As if guided by an unseen force, they placed her there, her penetrating gaze now capturing the essence of their home. It was a position of prominence, where Isabella could cast her watchful eyes upon the heart of the family. The family stepped back to take in the sight, the juxtaposition of Isabella's delicate elegance against the backdrop of their familiar living space. The doll's unsettling presence stood in stark contrast to the cozy, comforting atmosphere they had cultivated over the years. As night descended, the room took on a new life. The fire's dance cast dancing shadows on Isabella's form, causing her features to morph and shift with every flicker. It was almost as if Isabella's essence responded to the play of light, an ethereal dance that invoked both wonder and apprehension. Emily, drawn to the doll's mystique, approached Isabella with a mixture of curiosity and affection. She whispered stories to the doll, sharing secrets and dreams as if she were speaking to an old friend. Isabella's presence seemed to inspire Emily's imagination, infusing her with a sense of wonder that spilled into her drawings and stories. As the family retired to their rooms that night, Isabella's haunting gaze seemed to linger in their thoughts. The mantel had transformed into a stage for Isabella's silent presence, and the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one that would blur the lines between reality and the supernatural had just begun. The following days were marked by an undercurrent of unease in the Thompson household. At first, the disturbances were subtle, mere whispers that danced at the edge of perception. Sarah's brushes, once neatly arranged on her art studio table, seemed to rearrange themselves in playful disarray overnight. James brushed off these odd occurrences, attributing them to the idiosyncrasies of an old house. Yet, as twilight bathed the home in shadows, a sense of disquiet settled in. The sound of footsteps echoed softly in empty hallways, leaving the family members exchanging puzzled glances. Was it just their imagination? A collective trick of the mind? Or was there something more profound at play? Emily, ever attuned to the subtle rhythms of the world around her, began to share her own experiences. At times, she'd catch a glimpse of movement out of the corner of her eye, a fleeting shadow that seemed to retreat the moment she turned to face it. She mentioned whispers that lingered on the edge of her hearing, like the hushed secrets of forgotten dreams. Sarah, seeking to capture these mysterious echoes on her canvas, began painting scenes that seemed to straddle the line between the ordinary and the supernatural. One canvas depicted a room bathed in moonlight, where shadows appeared to stretch and twist in unnatural ways. Another painting portrayed Isabella, her porcelain eyes seeming to peer into a world beyond the frame. The atmosphere grew charged with a sense of anticipation, as if the very walls held their breath, waiting for the next enigmatic whisper. Objects shifted, ever so slightly. Curtains fluttered in the absence of wind, and an inexplicable chill crept into the air. The Thompsons' home was no longer just a sanctuary. It had become a realm where the mundane and the mysterious intertwined, beckoning them to unravel the threads that connected them to Isabella's gaze. As day turned to night, the stage was set for the next chapter of Isabella's enigmatic dance, and the family braced themselves for the journey ahead, a journey into the unknown, where whispers of the unseen would shape their reality in ways they could scarcely imagine. The weight of the unsettling occurrences cast a palpable unease over the Thompson household. The once familiar rooms now held an air of anticipation, as if the walls themselves held secrets waiting to be uncovered. It wasn't long before each family member began to feel the eerie presence that had woven itself into the fabric of their lives. James, a pragmatic man driven by reason, couldn't ignore the sense of being watched. A book left open on his study desk seemed to change position when his back was turned, and faint echoes of footsteps echoed in his ears as he worked late into the night. A man of science, he dismissed these sensations as stress-induced tricks of the mind. Yet a seed of doubt had been planted. Sarah's art studio, once a sanctuary of inspiration, became a space where brushes turned up missing, only to reappear in odd places. The soft rustle of paper seemed to continue long after drafts had ceased. Sarah found herself glancing over her shoulder more often, as if expecting to catch a glimpse of an elusive presence lingering just beyond her vision. Emily, always in tune with the world around her, began to sense a change in the air. Whispers seemed to follow her wherever she went, carried on winds that held secrets she couldn't quite decipher. Her connection to Isabella deepened, as if the doll's silent gaze held a key to the enigmatic energy that now swirled within their home. It was on a night when the moon hung low, casting its silver glow upon their abode, that the Thompsons gathered in the living room. Sarah's paintings adorned the walls, capturing the essence of the odd occurrences they had each experienced. The weight of their shared experiences hung heavy in the air, and they finally opened up to one another as they exchanged stories. The threads of unease wove together to form a tapestry of strangeness that stretched beyond rational explanation. They found solace in their shared vulnerability, acknowledging that something far more profound than mere coincidence was at play. The realization that their stories were intertwined with Isabella's gaze had ignited a spark of curiosity, a curiosity that beckoned them to delve deeper into the mysteries that now enshrouded their lives. In this moment of shared understanding, the Thompsons took their first steps toward unraveling the enigma that was Isabella, an enigma that held within it the secrets of a distant past and a connection that would bridge the gap between the living and the supernatural.